Welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 3 British light tank, the Cruiser Mark IV. So, is it any good? Yes, it's a good tank. Follows on, it's very similar to the Cruiser Mark III, just updated I guess for the next tier. A little bit more hit points and a little bit better armor and a bit better of a gun. Let's get into review. It has 230 hit points, which is about average for a Tier 3 light tank. Weighs from 15 to 17 tonne, has 395 horsepower and does a speed of 48 kilometers an hour. Now 48 kilometers an hour is kind of average for a Tier 3 light, but it is still quite fast. And the thing I like about it is the power to weight ratio is very, very good. So even though it's not the fastest, I think one of the faster tanks goes up as high as 79 kilometers an hour. So that's the Panzer C. But it gets to 48 very quickly and maintains it. So if you're going over undulating terrain, like a few small bumps here and there, it stays 47, 48. It doesn't drop a lot. And it goes up hills quite well, doesn't lose. It's got really good power. Traverse speed is 38, which once again is around about average, and a turret traverse of 42 is also about average. Its view range of 330 is about average, and its signal range of 450 is on the lowish side. There's probably only a couple of tanks actually with lower signal range, and that'd be the AMX-38. That has about 375, and the T26 has about 312. Other than that, everyone probably has more signal range. So that'd be the only sort of weak spot about this tank. Now it is a lot of fun to play. I really enjoyed playing this tank, and I did enjoy the Cruiser 3 at Tier 2 as well. Let's have a look at the research, and that'll tell us a bit about the guns as well. So basically you've got the same two guns here as you had on the Cruiser 3, only they work a little bit better. So you've got this QF 2-pounder, which with 64 penetration is still adequate at Tier 3 and even most Tier 4s, and does 45 damage. It has a better rate of fire in here, 27.27, and it's quite accurate with a very good aiming time of 1.7. So that gun is actually still a viable option in this tank. It actually is a very good sniper tank with that gun. Now I didn't bother going to the pom-pom gun, which was sort of the auto loader on the previous one, because the penetration drops to 49, which was adequate at Tier 2, but really against Tier 4 and 5 tanks that we do come across, it's not adequate. You don't have a choice but to get the turret to get to the better gun. Now the turret, you start off with the same turret you had on the Cruiser 3, which is 14, 12, 14 with the armor. But with the upgraded turret, it now has 30 at the front. So it's pretty much the same on the sides and rear, but it has 30 on the front now, which helps a little bit. And the auto this auto loader here is a very, very good gun. So I'll get that up as well. You could use either of these guns. Depends if you want to snipe. If you want to snipe, you use the 2-pounder here. But if you want to use the autocannon, you use this one. You only lose 1mm of penetration by using the auto loader. So it goes from 64 to 63 mils of penetration, and it increases the damage from 45 to 50, and it has 4 shells in the magazine. It shoots 1 shell every half second, so 2 shells a second, and has a complete magazine loading time of 6 seconds, which is very, very good. The difference with this one, this auto loader, is when you one click of the mouse button, it fires 2 rounds. So you can click once and it'll fire 2 rounds, click again and fire another 2 rounds. So you can't just fire 1 round at a time. And it does hold its accuracy better than the previous gun on the Cruiser 3 when you fire the rounds, which is good. So you often will hit with that second shot, and the accuracy of the gun, generally speaking, is better. We have a accuracy of 0.41, which the 2-pounder is much better at 0.36. So it's so this one you do have to get closer with this autocannon. It has an aiming time of 1.9, which is quite good. So yeah, you've got to be a closer range, and it does lose a bit of penetration over range. So it's more of a close range gun, whereas the 2-pounder here you can use for sniping, which kind of suits the tank since it doesn't have very good armor. All right, but both good guns and both a lot of fun. They both work well. The rest of the grind, really just the radios, engine, all that sort of stuff. The tracks increase your traverse from 35 to 38, so definitely a worthwhile upgrade. But not a lot to it, and it's a pretty easy upgrade, of course, only being a tier 3 tank. So the frontal of the turret is a bit stronger, and you will bounce the odd shot, mainly from the lower tier auto loaders, will bounce off the front of your turret, so you can go hull down. The tank is fantastic at hill fighting. It has the best gun depression in the game at minus 15 degrees gun depression, which is fantastic. The only tank that comes close is the Japanese Kini. A Japanese light tank has 14 degrees of gun depression, which is very good. The next best after that would be 10 degrees. So it dominates with gun depression, and its elevation is still 20 degrees, which is also very good. So definitely you want to go on hills. The camouflage in this tank, though, isn't that great for a light tank. Probably this and the Cruiser 2, which is also a British tier 3 light tank, has the worst camouflage of all the tier 3s. Tier 3 light tanks, it is. So it's not great camouflage, and the problem is there are two other tanks that have stationary worse camouflage, and that would be the M3 Light and the M3 Stuart, but when they move they maintain their camouflage. These British tanks, when they move, they don't maintain their stationary camouflage. They actually drop their camouflage ratio during movement. So a lot of the light tanks keep their camouflage rating, but some don't, and this is one of the ones that doesn't. So that creates a bit of an issue if you want to sort of get close and spot and snipe. So that's why it is a good hill fighter, though, and you really want to be fighting on hills where you can not expose very much of your tank and then pull back behind the hill, because you are probably going to get spotted, so you really just want to be in a place where no one can hit you. That's a lot safer. Okay, so I'll talk about the armor in Tank Inspector. I think I've said about all there is to say, other than, just use it as a hill fighter, pop in, pop out. The speed up hills allows you to be very good at hill fighting, and it also has a good reverse speed of 20 kilometers an hour, which is not uncommon for a tier 3 light tank, but there's some that are quite slow. This one's not. Great tank, love it. Now just be aware when I'm playing the games, my crew is not very well trained. They vary from 75 to 80% training, so bear that in mind when it comes to accuracy and all that sort of thing. I'm going to show you a bit in Tank Inspector now, and then just a brief watch out, little video on things to watch out for, and then we'll get into a couple of games. The first game will feature the 2-pounder gun. Where is it? So the first game will feature this QF 2-pounder Mark 9 gun, and the second game will be the QF 40, which is the auto loader. Okay, let's get into it. The program is Tank Inspector, and we're checking out the Cruiser Mark 4. Let's get in the colorized view, and we can see that these orange sections here are 20mm of hull armor, which is basically useless. Everything and anything you meet can penetrate your hull. You do, however, have this frontal box around the driver's compartment here, and that has 30mm of armor. On the sides of it, it's still 20, but on the front of that box just there, it's 30mm of armor. So 20 here, 30 here. Just helps protect the driver a little bit. So light tanks with machine guns, such as some tier 3 and tier 2 tanks, will have trouble penetrating that. As far as the turret goes from the front, it has 30mm of armor as well, and the mantlet here is also 30mm. There are a couple of spots just here, just below the gun, and on here just above the gun, where it does overlay and you get 60mm, but basically it's 30mm predominant part of it. You still have this bit of spaced armor here on the side, which is 4mm thick, which does protect the front sides a little bit and protects the sides. So it's 4mm overlaying 12mm of armor, same as it was on the Cruiser Mark 3 upgraded turret, and the same here. So you've got a little bit of that. That should help stop heat shells from blasting through your side of your turret. The side of the tank is 14mm of armor, as is the rear, which is of course everything and anything in the game can penetrate that. The cupola is also 30mm, which was good. So from the front in a hull down position, you will be able to stop the little auto cannons from penetrating you, but if they can see your hull, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay, that's about it. Let's get into the quick little what not to do or what to watch out for, and then into the gameplay. Okay, so we do have to watch out for tier 5 tanks and some tier 4, anything that packs HE. As you can see, I was one shot killed there by the Stug 3 tier 5 tank firing HE ammo. So HE will one shot kill you. Watch out for that.
Time to roll out.
Okay, the map is Westfield. It's a tier 5 game. We're in our tier 3 cruiser Mark 4. So a good chance for you to see how the gun performs against high level tanks. I'm using the QF 2-pounder gun, which has a 64 mils of penetration and is the, I suppose, one of the first guns you get for this tank. It is a viable option for sniping. It is quite accurate, as you will see during this game, although with my crew only being 76% trained, it's not as accurate as it would be if they were fully trained. So I'm taking up position here just to do some spotting in case they're rushing across the hill here. And I'm just going to speed it up a little bit to 4 times. Idiot drives past and shoots his gun, letting everyone know where he is. Okay, slowed it down, so we've got a cruiser Mark 4, which is our equivalent. I missed badly. Chinu, tier 5.
We didn't even scratch them.
Chinu has poor armor, but we didn't penetrate. When I say poor armor, it's poor armor for tier 5. At tier 3, it's probably not bad armor. Don't know if we hit that or not. It's a bit of a guess. Can't believe he hadn't spot. Oh, there he is. It's a T40. Okay. T4. It's a T40 or T80. That's a T80. Oh, okay. Okay. It's 4-3. No, 5-4 now. 5-4. So fairly even still. I can see a KV-1 right over there out the back. And a Wolverine.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Now, I decided to start going for the Wolverine, but ended up hitting the KV-1 again anyway. And now we get the Wolverine. I have no chance really of penetrating the KV-1 from this distance. Well, even at close range, I don't think I can penetrate the KV-1. Oh, I might be able to penetrate. There's parts of it I could probably penetrate at close range. Anyway, I may as well harass it and see if I can track it or something. I might get a lucky shot into the tracks. Pretty hard to hit in the tracks while it's moving at this speed. Oh, I keep missing it. Terrible shooting. Although I was a long way away. I decided to blow this building out just in case it helps my teammates get a shot on it. So I decided to move down a bit closer next to this next bush here and see if that helps me get a bit closer, see if I can pin its tracks or something. So I start trying to aim for the tracks, and then I see this SU come through. He stopped. I didn't think he was going to stop.
Penetration.
It's better.
Enemy armor is
Okay,
destroyed.
so we've got 2 kills, but we've hardly done any damage.
Critical hit.
So if he's flat onto me, I'll go for that plate with the machine gun ports and the drive still in it. But if he's angled like he is now, I'm just going to try and track him. So get one track, we go for the other one. But I don't do enough damage to actually track him.
We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor. We didn't
So even now I'm getting green on the indicator there at this range. Probably at close range I might be able to penetrate the side there between the tracks, but at this range I can't get through.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
So I just keep trying to go his tracks, managed to track him again. So now I'll go for the other track.
Critical hit. Critical hit.
I'll keep saying critical, but it's not taking his track off. So my teammates managed to take care of that KV-1, which is, as you can see by my lack of penetration, was probably a good thing that they were able to do that. And it's now 9:10. Oh, Chinu gets me a good shot, but I managed to get a couple into him. I move out of the way and my teammate manages to nail the Chinu, which is good. We're down to 85 hit points now. So artillery has a shot at me, but I would have disappeared off the screen by now, so I go back to my spotting position. They have 3 artillery and 2 tank destroyers left. We have 2 artillery, Stug 3 and myself, and the T-82 they have. There we go. That was a lucky spot.
Penetration.
Oh, missed.
Enemy is hit.
Yeah, one more shot, he's dead. Oh, he's disappeared. I'm just now firing to see if I can hit where he might be, if he's backed up or... But he's gone. So it looks like he's still alive. We missed him. T-82 is a fantastic little tank destroyer, tier 2 or tier 3? Tier 3, very good tank destroyer, but it has no armor at all, basically. Artillery comes in to have a shot.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Someone else hits him and we finish him off. Hetzer.
Enemy armor is hit.
The one landed on his roof, I think that was lucky.
Enemy is hit.
And our teammates finish him off. That was lucky because we were going to get rolled there, but now it's even up with 4 tanks, they've got 3. So we have 2 artillery, a Stug 3 and myself, and they have 2 artillery, and that T-82 is still alive, but he's on low health, we know that. Then again, I'm on low health too. I might just speed it up here because we start having a conversation. I decided to start a conversation with the guys to say, oh look, what the hell are we going to do? There's 7 minutes to go. So I've said the 282 only has 28 hit points left. And I'm saying, should I go now and try and get their arty at the base? Someone's saying go now, Stug 3. So he's telling the Stug to go. Anyway, I decide to go, so I'm off. I might just leave this at 4 times while we're going through. Oops, we've spotted the T-82. So back to normal speed, and I decide to try and maneuver. He can't turn very well, so I decide to do some tricky maneuvers to throw him off, and we managed to get the shot in. He missed with his, fortunately. Does have a very good gun, that T-82. So artillery fires a shot and fires at me again. So they only have 2 artillery left now, and we have myself, the Stug, and our artillery. So my intention now is to try and sneak up and spot them. If I spot them, I will try and just let our artillery take care of them, because I am on low health. And we do spot artillery, but he spotted us too, so we're just going to have to go for him.
Enemy armor is hit.
1 shot in. 2 shots in. Oh, crikey, he's tough. 3 shots in. Oh, good shot from their artillery, takes us out. Unfortunately, we weren't doing a lot of damage, and it took a lot of shots to kill that guy. I guess he's tier 5 artillery, so he's a lot harder to kill than... actually, he's tier 4 artillery. Got a few more hit points than I was expecting. Alright, did we win or not? Well, it ended up being a draw. From memory, when I watched that game, our Stug got killed as well. It ended up being just the 2 artillery, and they couldn't manage to finish each other off. Anyway, it was a pretty good game. We got our class 2 badge for that game. Let's have a look at the next screen. So we finished 3rd for experience. we did okay, considering we were tier 3 in a tier 5 game. Not bad. Next screen. And we fired 58 shots, which is not bad for a single shooter. 32 direct hits. Of that we got 19 penetrations. Now, most of the bounces admittedly were off that KV1. So if you take that out of the equation, the penetration was actually pretty good. Damage 513. Now we received 3 hits and they all penetrated. Of course the armor not really standing up, especially in a tier 5 game. We spotted 1 vehicle. We damaged 8 and destroyed 4, which is really is a very good result for a tier 3 tank in a tier 5 game. We also did 357 spotting damage because we were spotting a lot from the position we were in. And we got 27 base defense points. I think that was just for... I think that's when we tracked the KV1. As you can see, out of 13,000, we ended up with 11,384 profit. That guy drove into the back of me at the start of the game, and somehow that's me causing damage to him. So I got a little fined a little bit there. And 414 experience was enough to get that. Was a class 2 mastery badge. Okay, next game.
Time to roll out.
Okay, the map is Mines. I'm in my tier 3 Cruiser Mark IV. And it's a real fair income tier 3 game, this, because there's all tier 3s except the poor unfortunate only tier 2 in the whole game on the other side is tier 2 artillery. Other than that, every single tank is a tier 3. So good chance to see how it performs in its own tier. Now this time I have the QF 40mm Bofors gun, which has the 4-shot magazine. Every time you click the mouse it fires 2 shots. So you do that twice and then it needs to reload. It has only 1mm less penetration compared to the previous gun. My crew is up around the 78 to 80% range. As you can see there, penetrated 1, wasted the other tank. So 3 of our shots there hit. Decide to reload. Got hit from the side with HE ammo. Lucky it didn't do too much damage to us. Actually, that was a Lloyd, was it? Okay, that's the that was the tier 2 artillery. I was very lucky that it was tier 2 artillery that hit me, and so it didn't do much damage to me. Tier 2 artillery is pretty crap. Actually, all artillery is pretty crap until about tier 5, but yeah, so we're a bit lucky there. So we decided to move up. I think there's a lot of inexperienced players in this game, so
Enemy armor is hit. Penetration.
we're able to do fairly well. Our team's done the right thing as well. They've taken the centre. Done a really good job there. That helps a lot. Okay, so see there the first shot missed, second shot hit. So it does a good job of aiming. Yeah, it keeps its aim much better than the gun on the previous, on the Cruiser Mark III. Couple of tanks here. He ended up passing behind another tank, so we missed him there. So it's 8-6, we are winning. Doing not too badly. So this is a good way to go through here, to hug these rocks, keeps you safe from artillery, or reasonably safe, but allows you to sort of sneak up on people. So here's the Cruiser 4, which is the same tank as us, and we're able to waste him, but we get hit by this Panzer G. So 3 shots hitting there out of the 4. Chiha decides to move.
Penetration. Gotcha.
And you can see there I was actually able to move the gun whilst it was firing the magazine, so it still maintained pretty good accuracy considering what I was doing there.
Enemy armor is
That was a very lucky shot. I don't think I was even fully aimed there. Hey, when luck's on your side, it's really on your side. So we've got 5 kills, so this is for Top Gun.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
And he's an idiot. Well, he's not an idiot, he's just not very experienced. He stayed there. I think maybe he's tracked.
Destroyed.
And instead of moving, he stayed there and got slammed. Now, at the time of playing this game, I didn't think I had my Top Gun. I thought I only had 5 kills. So I really, really wanted to get this artillery. So I'm racing as fast as I can. I'm going, no, medium 3, slow down, slow down. And that's why I just fired on the move, and yeah, we got it. Okay, so as you can see, we've got Class 1 for that game. It's pretty tough to get mastery in this tank, and I think that's because it's a lot of fun to play, and I think a lot of pretty good players do play this tank for a bit of fun. But yeah, that's a good looking screen. We hit a lot of tanks, which was great. Let's see the next screen. And obviously we finished on top for experience, although the other Cruiser 4 also did very well and did 670 damage. We did 756, so we obviously had a bit of luck on our sides. We did 756 and got 7 kills. He did 670 and only got 1 kill. So I probably was finishing off a few tanks that he was hitting. So sorry to you. What's his name? Stevento. Sorry, mate. I think I took all your kills. On the other side, look, there was a couple of people that did alright. It's pretty tough when you get overrun like that. But yeah, pretty good. Okay, now 40 shots fired, of which 22 were direct hits. Don't remember, didn't feel like I missed that many shots, but with those sort of multiple fire guns, it's they do tend to spray a little bit and you tend to miss more than you think. But out of the 22 hits, we got 21 penetrations. So at tier 3, that's plenty of penetration for a gun. And tier 4, most tanks, it's pretty good. Like, you have trouble with AMX 40s and Matildas, of course, but still pretty good, most tanks. It's tier 5, it does have trouble though. Damage 756, which is a lot for tier 3. Hits received 5, penetrations 2, non-penetrations 3. So we bounced a few shots. I would say that would have been from the Panzer C with the auto cannon firing at us when we were manoeuvring about. Probably a few of them probably went into the front of our turret and bounced. Now we damaged 8 and destroyed 7, which is of course very good. And we received 17,000. There was some sort of a mission which we got another 20,000 for, which is great. But as we've seen before, it's a good profitable tank. And 775 raw experience was enough for first class, but not enough for mastery. Alright, hope you enjoyed that game. Thank you for watching my review of the Cruiser Mark IV British Tier 3 light tank. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. While you're out there, do have fun.